So let's say the United States as a whole is a collective consciousness. Let's just go into that premise with this idea or concept. The United States, it has this problem where it has so much built up anger and frustration and confusion from our media and our society in general, misinformation and lack information, or people choosing to not even seek out proper information, that it does this thing where it gets extremely emotional about problems that they perceive are actually problems when they're not actually problems that exist right now. One prime example is that all this media hype about China and electric vehicles and Canada against China with electric vehicles and tariffs and all this other stuff, all this external strife and fear that they're putting out into the world is a perception, because they have to blame it outside of the self, outside of the collective consciousness, which is the United States, which is the big system that we live in. It has to point its finger at somebody else or some other fragmented idea. Otherwise, it would actually have to address its own internal issues and internal strife and the actual problems that exist inside our own society. Instead, it points and it has media blow up and tell us that we need to be afraid of China or this thing or that thing. 20 years ago, it was the war on terror. Well, you cannot wage a war on a feeling. I apologize. But that was an imaginary war. You can't wage war on an emotion. Yet you could use an emotion to wage a war. So the thing that really I want to get clear on this is, like, China is not a threat to us, nor are they trying to steal or grab everybody's identity outside of China. Like, China is very concerned with China and what they do. They built these walls because it was to withhold their own standards in their own society. Now, I cannot agree or claim to agree with everything that they do or how they organize their world with their social pointing system that they have going on. But when the United States uses the media and gets everybody in an uproar for another country like China, which isn't doing anything or has any secret agenda to steal everybody's identity here in the United States, it's really, really stupid if you sit back and think about it. Like, for example, did you know China owns most of the cell phone towers in the United States? That's right. China owns most of the cell phone towers in the United States. So if there was any actual issue that our country had with China, they would be addressing the most significant way that they could actually get everybody's information is through the cell phone towers. But if the United States allowed them to buy these things, they're not concerned with what China is actually doing. They're only concerned with how China uses and spends their money in the United States. So, I ask you, I don't even know what I ask you. I guess I beseech you to really think about what the media is trying to say or do. It's generally not there to make you feel good about your life.